What's up, Havenites, and welcome to another episode of the Pull List. I'm your boy Alan, and we are back with another week. This video releases every Friday, so you know what today is? It's Pull List Day. Hope everybody's had a good week. Hope everybody's had a safe week. Hope everybody has a good weekend. I hope y'all got a lot of plans this weekend. Before we jump into the Pull List, I just want to say thanks for following. Thanks for all the subscribes, all the likes. Thanks for sharing out the videos. Thanks to everybody that's supporting the channel. Even if all you do is click like on a short, that is still supporting the channel. Thank you so very much for that. That really does help small channels like ours, and it helps us, kind of keep growing and keep the movement alive. I don't know. Maybe we could say that. If you like, for those of you that's watching this for the first time, if you like daily shorts, if you like a weekly review video, if you like weekly live streams, you have found the right place. Every Thursday night, live at 7 p.m. Central, you have Shop Talk with Josh and Alan, myself. Every Friday, you have the Pull List. That's what you're watching now. Every Sunday night, we have Lines on a Page with Tom Price. If you're wondering what that is, think Bob Ross with superheroes. What's not to love about that? And then, like I said, we post daily shorts, usually late in the afternoons. So all you got to do is hit subscribe, hit the like, turn on all notifications, and we'll take care of the rest. And, of course, we cover comic books. Got the store folio. We actually had a really good week. I've had several light weeks in a row, which is kind of strange for me. But, it is what it is. I also subscribe to a lot of mini-series, so we probably had a lot of mini-series coming to an end, and that's why we had that going on. But we will go ahead and jump right into it, and we will start off with Monomyth, issue number 5 by Mad Cave Studios. We are getting closer and closer to the end. I think this is going to be a 6-issue mini-series. In this particular issue, our survivors, the two of the girls, have made their way to the library. They're thinking that if they burn the library, that completes the story or completes their story. One of them is slated next to die on this list. If you have not been reading Monomyth, Mad Cave's done a really good job with setting up this whole mythos about how certain people have been tracked through their bloodline, and it goes back to a wizarding bloodline. We do find out in this one that we are pretty much expecting one person to win, maybe. I think there was 7. We started out with 7, and they're trapped in a castle. Think Harry Potter for grown-ups. But they will, and I don't know how well it's going to show up on the screen, but we have, I believe it's called the Blood Crown, and I'm assuming that that's going to decide who the next king is. We'll just kind of have to wait and see, or the next ruler over this set. I'm really not sure on that one. It was kind of vague exactly what that king was going to be, or at least I felt like it was vague. I might have been wanting a little more. That's kind of... Sometimes with me, less is more, but other times I want a lot of detail. But we'll just kind of have to wait and see how this plays out in issue 6. Our brother and sister are still alive. They're kind of being pitted against each other a little bit. Not really. We'll just have to wait and see. Next issue, next comic that we have on this list. This was actually referred to me. I had no plans of reading this book. Not because I don't like it. It's just I already read so much. But I did have someone reach out to me and say, hey, I'd really like it if you covered this book and give me your thoughts on it. So I went ahead and picked it up. It did come out a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure a lot of y'all have already read it. If not, we have Dawn of DC, Batman and Robin, issue number 1 by Josh Williamson. And I got to be honest with y'all, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that I'm not a huge Damian fan to begin with, but I did like that he's moving into the brownstone with Bruce. That yes, it is Batman and Robin, but it's also about these two rediscovering what it is to be father and son. Since technically, Damian is his biological son with Talia al Ghul. But it was really good because we've got that relationship that they're having to work on and repair. At the same time, it's more natural in them just to be Batman and Robin. I thought the parallels there, how it was kind of awkward as father and son, but it's natural as Batman and Robin. I thought that was really good. In this particular issue, we do have them... Well, I can kind of show you all the art. The art was really good in it. But Bruce does tell Damian that he's about to start school. He's going to go to school like a normal child. He's going to, I believe he's starting high school, and Damien's like, well, I really don't want to go because, I am smarter than anybody teaching it. But just kind of give y'all an idea of what the art is like. It was a very nice double cover. I enjoyed that. I believe this right here is the scene. Oh, yeah. This is the scene where Damien is finding out that he's got to go back to high school, basically, or go to high school. And for those of y'all that really know a lot about Damien, we all know that Damien doesn't need high school at all, just simply because of how smart he is. I mean, at the end of the day, he is Bruce's son. But one thing that I really did like about this, even though I believe it kind of started at roughly the same time as Gotham War did over in the Batman and Catwoman main titles, there is reference to Selina is kind of taking care of the streets and everything. That there is, it never actually says Gotham War. It does not. It does roughly talk about not really, maybe hints at the family, but this is happening at the same time as Gotham War. That is a definite. You understand that in this book. All in all, I felt like it was a good book. It was a solid read, and I'm definitely going to be picking up issue number 2. I'm glad that this was actually recommended to me. But that's my thoughts on it. I think Williamson's done a really good job with this first issue. It felt like Batman and Robin. It felt like what a Batman and Robin comic should be, and I can't wait to see exactly where they go with it. Next up on the list, we have Dawn of DC Titans, issue number 3. We are really and truly getting started back up after the whole Night Terrors storyline, or interlude, whatever you want to call it, nightmare. In this particular issue, basically Nightwing and Gar are on a mission, and they have infiltrated the Church of Blood. They are hoping to either get evidence of them being good guys now or them being bad guys, but we all know what's going to happen. There is a nice little thing about how they don't want Wally going because they're afraid that, they do find out that his death is imminent within like the next 48 hours, and they don't want him going on any missions, but he does it anyway. He said, I think there was one line in there, something like, we've dealt with gods, monsters, all this other stuff. I think I can deal with Nightwing being mad at me. That was really good. All in all, this was a fun issue. I'm glad Titans is back. This is really and truly, it's got the hallmark of being it is going to be the next Justice League. But it's just a fun read. I'm really glad this book is back. Art, absolutely amazing in it. Story, Tom Taylor. What else can we say about Tom Taylor? He is that good. We do have Brother Eternity in this one. We do find out that things are not all that they seem to be, and Brother Eternity is basically using Tempest. Tempest is just another pawn in his plan. We do have a really good fight scene between Titans and the Church of Blood. All in all, this was a really good book. Highly recommend Titans. And it's only issue 3. You've got plenty of time. There's no excuse not to go pick up the other issues. Next up on the list, we have, and this one was a little, but y'all know I do love this company. AWA Studios, Rumpus Room, issue number 1. This, for the old heads out there like me, a long time ago we had a book series. What was a book series? It was like a collection of stories by Stephen King. Ended up becoming a movie called Cat's Eye. We also had a couple of other movies come out, kind of like a Tales from the Crypt type deal, where you kind of get just, a little bit like 3 or 4 stories in one. And this kind of felt like that. I thought Rumpus Room was really good. I am really curious as to what Bob's Cream is. But basically, we do have a police officer. We don't know she's a police officer. She does show up on this fella's doorstep looking for her sister, who disappeared 3 weeks ago, that was an accountant for him. And she does make reference, he invites her in for tea, evil billionaire, all that stuff. And she does make reference of, is the tea poisoned? And he's like, no, the tea's not poisoned. That's pretty much what everybody expects. But she kind of starts seeing stars and everything, and she ends up passing out. And as she's going out, she's like, so the tea was poisoned? And he was like, no, the tea wasn't poisoned. The air was poisoned. I'm the only one immune to it. which I thought was kind of cool. I did chuckle at that. But basically, in his basement, he has a whole bunch of people trapped down there, and they're put in like this Iron Maiden type device, and they kind of get crushed, and it spits out like this goo, this cream, and it's almost like what's keeping him young, like face cream. It was kind of weird. It was kind of bizarre. It was kind of freaky, and it was kind of cool. I really did enjoy Rumpus Room issue 1. If you're looking for something different, we're definitely not going to have superheroes or anything in this. We're literally going to have a mad scientist, evil genius, billionaire, whatever. It's just, I think this is going to be a fun read. We'll definitely be keeping our eye on Rumpus Room by AWA Studios. Next up on the list, I was actually a little bit sad at the end of this one. I've really enjoyed this series, and they're not coming to an end, but they're about to take a very long hiatus, and that is Nocterra, issue number 16. This series actually started roughly 3 years ago. They've taken a couple of breaks, and we've had some one-shots and some specials. The Blacktop Bill special is by far my favorite special out of Nocterra. But we basically, Nox has made it to Earth. He is the demon, the entity, whatever it is, that brings about the darkness. Blacktop Bill and Sundog Convoy are into it. They have the Glares, which are beings of just solid light, are prepared to sacrifice themselves to help take out Nox. And in the end, they do take out Nox, and the light is brought back. I thought it had a really cool ending. At the end of it, it was called 1 a.m. The sun was up. That's the first time that they've ever referenced anything as the AM is concerned. In this particular issue, we do have Emery, whatever you want to call him. He's going through what he considers are the 5 steps to the scientific process, and the 5th step is the because. I thought that was kind of unique and kind of cool. The whole because is literally, it's out there now. Now you know why. Now you know what's fixing to happen, and the because is the scariest part of it. Because you're going to find out whether you're right or wrong. I thought that was really cool. There is a letter from Scott Snyder in the back of this, and he basically does say, hey, look, we're going to take a long hiatus. We've really enjoyed this book. This is just the beginning. Blacktop Bill does make a reference that there are other Noxes out there. And so if there's other Noxes out there, we automatically can assume that we have more Glares out there, which is Lux. All in all, great read. I believe the 3rd trade paperback's getting ready to come out. This is just a really fun read. I feel like this would make like a great series on, say, AMC or something like that. Just another really good one by Scott Snyder. Cannot recommend. Art absolutely fantastic. Tony S. Daniels, who does the art, just a great book. And I am going to be a little sad to see it go for a while, but they will come back sooner or later. They are actually taking some time off. You know what? We'll just go ahead and get it. They've done such a good job with this book. We're going to go ahead and get a little plug in for them. Tony Daniels had apparently taken a lot of time away from a book that he was wanting to write, and now, or write or draw his own pet project, and now they're going to take some time away from Nocterra so they can start working on Edenwood. That does, just based on the picture alone, looks pretty cool. I might have to check it out. It's coming out this month, so it should be out pretty much any week. September 2023. You could be watching this 100 years from now. I don't know. It's not coming out the month that you might be watching it in the future. I know I'm an idiot. Next up, we have Gunslinger Spawn, issue 24. And once again, Brett Booth and Todd McFarlane. That is just an amazing team. I've heard rumblings that Brett Booth is about to take some time away from Gunslinger Spawn. I hate to hear that. I love what Brett Booth has done with the art in these books. It's been absolutely fantastic. But in this particular issue, we do find out that I just completely and totally forgot his name. The kid that's been helping Javier, Gunslinger. We do know that his father was like an angel or something. And basically he's always had these nightmares. He's always had these issues internally. And we know that he's sick and he's dying. Javier does go back to the shaman is basically, you got to help him, and the shaman's like, no, you don't understand, you're sick too. And Javier's like, well, you know what, my sickness is leading me to basically kill all the people that killed my sister, so I'm going to have my revenge. Just another great solid read. Gunslinger Spawn is definitely the best book in the Spawn universe right now, in my opinion. Fantastic art, fantastic story. It doesn't get any better as far as Spawn's concerned. Next up, we have, and we still got a few left. We have Wonder Woman, issue number 1. This is the new series by Tom King, Dawn of DC. So, I'm going to go ahead and reiterate what a lot of people have been saying. This is a very wordy issue. But here's the thing, it needed to be a very wordy issue. Even though it is extremely wordy, it was very easy to read, very easy to follow. Great story, beautiful art. There's not one thing that I did not like about this book. Basically, we start off kind of in a pool hall, I think in Oregon, and there is an Amazon in there. Some things happen. She ends up basically wiping out the entire pool hall, except she leaves the 2 women alive. There is a lot of congressional hearings, all this stuff. They're gonna kick all Amazons out of the U.S. Because I think it's part of some agenda and everything. I know that we're going to end up seeing the Amazon in the beginning of it. I believe her name was Amelia. We're going to end up seeing her again on down the road. But Amazons are leaving, some are not leaving, and we do have a character, they call him Sarge. I do like that character. He's a soldier that follows orders, no matter what those orders are. That's what he does. He's a new character. I believe he's a new character. We also we're kind of leading up to it, and we're leading up to, I believe Wonder Woman might be the last Amazon left in America, and we do have a fight between her and Sarge in this new task force. She's not leaving. She's not going back to Themyscira. She's going to get to the bottom of this, and she's pretty much on the run from the U.S. government now. But at the same time, there's someone else in the background, and we don't really and truly... It's kind of narrated by him, so to speak. But at the same time, it's kind of telling this story of him and Wonder Woman. They are headed toward... I'm trying to get to the page where it actually shows him. So we have this guy is their sovereign. I believe that's what they called him. Let me flip another page. But basically, he'll end up becoming like their king, almost like some type of king that runs the government in the background. It was kind of weird, but he holds what is called the lasso of lies, and as long as whoever holds the lasso of lies, people will believe whatever lie they tell them. And it does go in to say that America believes every single one of the lies because he holds the lasso of lies. There's going to end up being a showdown between them. I believe we end up getting 2 first appearances in this book. It's a really good book, a solid book. This is the opportunity to completely and totally jump on Wonder Woman at a number 1 at the beginning of a story. And like I said, it's written by Tom King, and you really can't go wrong with Tom King. I think Tom King might actually be the GOAT of DC Comics. I know that's going to kind of tear some people up because of his Batman run, which is arguably one of the best runs of Batman we've seen in a long time. But, getting sidetracked, I highly recommend Wonder Woman issue number 1. Just a great first read, and I'm really looking forward to it. As y'all can tell, it was a heavy DC week because we did just end Night Terrors. But here's the really great thing about it. We also had Nightwing, issue 106, and I'm so glad this book is back. This was such a good read. Nightwing is headed to the hold. He knows that he has a box there. It was box 538, and he's finally decided that he wants to know what was in it. We do have a flashback to when he was kind of Rick Grayson when he got shot in the head and all that. But Heartless shows up at the hold before Nightwing does, and he ends up killing the quartermaster. And when Heartless and I can't think of his name right now end up down into the cavern or whatever it is, all they find is the whale bones. The ship is gone. The hold is nowhere to be seen. Well, Nightwing, he's got Oracle in his ear, and when Nightwing shows up, with the police and everything, basically they realize, and this, we're about to get into some, to some major spoilers, even though this entire episode, every episode of Pull List is spoilers. But basically, Nightwing, Oracle realizes that the paramedics that left with the quartermaster's body are not paramedics. They do not work for EMS or anything. But we also, I'm sorry, just before Quartermaster's killed by Heartless, Heartless does ask him if anybody will miss him, and Quartermaster goes, "My daughter is going to hunt you down." Well, fast forward, Nightwing does chase after the ambulance. We do have a really cool scene, Nightwing on the motorcycle chasing the ambulance and everything. But when Nightwing gets there, when he comes out of the back of the ambulance, they're at the harbor, and the quartermaster's daughter's there. It's B, and I believe they called her Captain Blood. So we know the hold has got to be close. Really looking forward to it. Tom Taylor, it's Nightwing and it's pirates. What's not to love about that? I've said this for a while. I still stand by it. Nightwing is literally the best book that DC has. Nightwing has truly turned into a cornerstone book under Tom Taylor. Cannot say enough good things about it. Highly recommend Nightwing. And especially now, I'm just excited that, there was some aspects of Night Terrors that I liked. There was some aspects of Night Terrors that I did not like. But, we're getting some amazing DC books. Josh and I had talked about it on Shop Talk before. DC is literally, guys, they're getting after Marvel. They're getting after them hard when it comes to these stories. A few weeks ago, I did do a video on currently Marvel's best series. Next up on my list is to do DC's, and I'll have a lot to say about that. I'm just trying to pick the 5 best. But let's kind of move on. That's on down the road a little bit, maybe the next week or two. But we also have Dawn of DC, Superman, issue number 6, Superman the Chained. But this was, once again, we're back. We're done with Night Terrors. We're moving on with the Dawn of DC. I'm really excited about that. In this particular issue, we start off that Lex Luthor was shanked in prison, and that's literally what they say. He was shanked in prison. He's in a coma. Superman is not wasting any time. He is all over the place. He's handling business. He's not stopping to chit-chat. There was one scene, though, that did kind of bother me, where Superman, actually Clark Kent's at the Daily Planet, and he's standing in Lois's office, and you turn around, and all you see is, him leaned in the doorway and, bulging, ripping muscles underneath his Clark Kent guys, and it's like, come on. Everybody could figure that out. There's not that many men walking around built like that. We know who Superman is. I guess they're just not paying attention. But this is another one by Williamson, by the way. Sorry about that. But basically, Superman finds out that there is a project called Chained. And it was a project that only Lex Luthor knew about. Lex Luthor designed a prison to basically hold one person and to keep them confined there indefinitely. He did at one point put someone in that prison, and it's buried deep beneath Rikers, whatever. Well, Superman goes there with the team from Supercorps. They go to rip it open and everything. There is someone, he's kind of chained up. He's got a helmet on, and he's all chained and stuff. Superman they do get the chains off of him and all that. And someone makes a comment about Mr. Luthor. Dude just instantly is snapped, and he's like, "You work for Lex Luthor?" Goes after everybody. We have no idea who this guy is, or at least I have no idea who this guy is. I only recently started reading Superman again. But it was a great issue for this first part of The Chained. Just fantastic. Wonderful art. This is making me enjoy Superman books again. It's just, DC is just killing it, guys. Dawn of DC pretty much just started, and if you're not reading it, you really need to check it out. There's just a lot of stuff at Marvel that cannot touch what DC's doing right now. I said it. Send all hate mail to somebody else because I don't care. Send all hate mail to nickellis@twobrothers.com. Next up and last on the list, but it is a Marvel book, but technically isn't a Marvel book. Technically it's a Marvel book, even though it does say 20th Century Studios. We've got Predator versus Wolverine. I was shocked at how good this was. This is a battle that takes place over years and years and years. They kind of meet up, fight, then go their separate ways. Meet up, fight, and go their separate ways. We actually start off in the early 1900s in Alaska, where basically the Predator and Wolverine encounter each other. We do get some setup of what Wolverine's doing in the early 1900s in Alaska. We do get some really good battles. You know, there's the book actually starts off, I believe, like modern times, and Wolverine is telling the story of how he encountered the Predator for the first time. Don't know how many issues this is going to be, but it's definitely going to be jumping through the years, so that's going to be fun. I am looking forward to it. There is a scene where basically we have Team X, so we see, I can't remember what year it said it was, but we do have Sabretooth, we've got Wolverine, we've got Maverick. It's kind of cool seeing Maverick again. I don't know why, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where this one's going. Very easy to read, very beautiful art, definitely tons of fight scenes, and pretty violent, even though it is Predator and Wolverine. Just a really fun overall read, and I'm still digging the 20th Century Studios. I don't know why. I just like that they started doing that. Maybe that was part of the deal. Maybe not. I don't know. That is actually the pull list for the week, but before I go, I want to give a special shout out to our boy Dustin over at the Comic Book Chiropractor. Same Dustin that's also Two Brothers Comics. This is technically not a mail call because it was sent to somebody else because we sent a bunch of books in together. But the Comic Book Chiropractor, Dustin Ellis, I sent this over to him, and he pressed and cleaned it, and I finally have my Daredevil number 8 back with a very, very respectable 6.0 in my opinion, considering the age of the book. This is actually what I was wanting, was a 6.0. Daredevil 8, for those of y'all that don't know, it is a story by Stan Lee. It is art by Wally Wood. First appearance of Stiltman, just a great book. This is one of my favorite books of all time. The Bug is actually under strict orders to make sure that this book ends up in the casket with me one day when I pass. They say you can't take it with you. Yeah, I'm about to prove y'all wrong. I'm taking it with me. That is it. Once again, thank you so much. As far as Dustin, the Comic Book Chiropractor, is concerned, if y'all want to check out what he's got going on, check the link down below in the description. I'll leave y'all a link to his stuff, his Instagram, and his YouTube. That's it for the pull list. I can tell you that I got another healthy week coming next week. So, we'll see you then.